right, that was a little bit of Pink Floyd's Money. It's one of those bass lines that's super iconic. You hear that song, you hear the cash registers, you know, doing the rhythm part, and then that bass line comes in, and you're like, instantly know what the song is. So I thought we'd learn it today because it's a good riff to have in your repertoire, and it uses tons of these power chord shapes that we've kind of been working on. So let's get into it. We're going to start on the A string, 2nd fret. And we're going to do a power chord shape there. So 1, then a perfect 5th, and an octave. That's our power chord right there. All right, so we're going to start off on 2 of A. Then with our pinky, our 4th finger, will go up to 4 of G. And then 4th finger, 4 of D. And back to 2 of A. So the way I do this with the right hand, I do my 1st finger for the 1st note, and then the next 3 notes, I just kind of, right? I just roll my finger across the 3 strings. So if you want to try that, if it's easier for you to alternate pick it with your 2 fingers, go for it. For me, I think it's just easier to do that little slide. Right? So it is swung. It's not a straight rhythm. Da, ba, ba, ba. So try that a few times, just going through that power chord. That's probably the trickiest bit here. Right? And then we have the 2nd part of the main riff. Which is really easy. So it's 2 of E, open A, 2 of A, open D. And then we're back to the power chord. So the big trick of this song for me, and I think it's a good habit, forces you into this good habit, is always keeping your fingers kind of splayed across the fretboard, with each finger kind of covering a fret or close to it. Because like in this case, we're always going back to this, you know, and then we have another power chord there too. So always keeping your 4th finger near that 4th fret, even when we're going, rather than kind of tucking it and just using your, and then it's like, oh, we got to go to that power chord. I got to get my fingers out. If you keep them out there and just kind of, even though you're only using your 1st finger for that 2nd half, just keep the pinky close to that G string. Not only will it kind of help you to have a little bit more control, but you'll find it's way more efficient to just keep it where it's going to be. Okay, so then we have a little bit of a variation. If you listen to it, once the vocals start, you can hear it after 2 rounds of the kind of a little back and forthy thing. There's a specific melody that he sings that always kind of harkens that you're going to be playing that. Grab that cash with both hands and make a stash. That kind of part. So we're going to go. So we've just finished the main riff. So we've landed on the open D string. And we're going to go back to 2 of A. So 2 of A, open D. Then we're going to 2 of A again, then we're going to go to 2 of D. Open A, 2 of A, open D. So it's all just 2s and opens. You just got to know the correct pattern. So again, we do that main riff. Variation. 2 of A, open D, 2 of A, 2 of D, open A, 2 of A, open D. And then we're back into. Now we'll move on to the bridge part. So hopefully you got that down. Again, it's just that power chord and a lot of twos and opens on A, E, and D. Now we get to this next part. That part's a little tricky, sounds a little tricky, but it's pretty much all the same stuff. This time we're just gonna go to an F sharp power chord. So first finger is on 2 of E, that's F sharp. Third finger is on 4 of A, and fourth finger is on 4 of D. F sharp power chord. So once we get to the new car caviar, da, 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 da. That whole part, we're gonna call that the bridge. So a little bit different there. Same kind of structure though. We're gonna start on D string, 4th fret, and then we're gonna go same way as we did with the B chord. We're just starting on the highest note now. So we'll go D, D, A, E. Then as soon as we are done with that, we're on to open A. 4 of A. Then we're gonna go to the D string and we're gonna go 4, 3. Now we have another power chord. It's an E power chord. So I just use my first finger and I bar these two. So I'm gonna go 2 on D, 2 on A, open E. So then we have open E. Now we're gonna go 3 of E. It's our kind of funky note in there. So open E, 3 of E, open A, 2 of A, open D. And then we're back to the back in safe territory. Let's go over that little bridge section one more time. So we're gonna start on 4 of D, then we do D4, A4, E2, open A, 4 of A. Now we're gonna go on D, 4, 3, 2 of D, 2 of A, open E, 3 of E, open A, 2 of A, open D. Back to the main riff. Da, 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 bum. All right. So that's most of the song, and then we have a little bit of a solo. So the solo's not too bad. So the solo is just a lot of chromatic walking. And we'll cover that and its structure in the next video. But for this video, I just want you to focus on those two parts. And then the second part. Right? So once you get those down, the solo will seem like a breeze.